The BBC would sit down with me and ask me all these stupid questions. I'd completely destroy them. And they were like, oh, why does he talk that way? Because you need my interview. No one cares about the BBC. I'll talk to you however I want, or I won't talk to you at all. That's one of the benefits of being a successful man. It's probably the primary benefit is you get to just curate who's in your life and who isn't. But I don't think my mom has any problem with anything I say. She may have said a few times, Andrew, you're really making them mad. And I'll say, good, because that's the reason I'm talking at all. Think about it. Why do you spend calories talking? If you could set on a bar, on a meter, if you could choose how much impact your words had, you'd choose 100%, wouldn't you? Wouldn't you put it up to maximum difficulty? So every time you say anything that has the maximum impact?
The maximum cut through.
Oh, absolutely. You sit and say, okay, when I say I love you to a woman, I want to have maximum impact. When I say I hate you to someone, I want to have maximum impact. And when I sit and do a podcast, I want to have maximum impact. And when I threaten a man, I want him to have maximum impact. You would go through life with your vocal settings on maximum. So I have curated the way I speak on purpose to make sure that is maximally effective. I choose words and I use tonality, which is deliberately designed to make people, one, listen, and two, think. If that offends people who don't want to think or don't want to listen, then don't listen and don't think.
So you create your character to create cut through in people's lives.
I don't think it's a character. I think it's just sitting down and optimizing things. Like, why would I speak if I'm going to speak on podcasts, or I'm going to speak in my business, or I'm going to speak to women? If I'm going to do anything, you're going to optimize it, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that life? You go to the fight gym and you spar and you lose and you get better. You attempt to optimize it. You try and make some money. You attempt to optimize it. You attempt to grow the number of followers you have on your YouTube channel. When you go out dating women, you attempt to optimize it to get better at it. If I'm going to speak to people, I'm going to optimize it to be maximally effective. I want to be the person who can say less words than everybody else and have a larger impact. That's what I want to do. I've chosen that. I've decided to do that. I understand that to be able to do that, I also need to have a certain persona and a certain capability. It's hard to do that if I'm not financially successful. It's hard to do that if I'm physically weak. If I walk into a room and I want to bellow and I want to sit and talk in a particular manner, but I'm physically weak and broke, nobody gives a shit. But I have real world accolades. Also, a lot of my real world accolades are based on the fact that I've suffered and I'm prepared to go through difficult scenarios for the things I've said, which once again adds credence to my words. If I have to go to jail because I talk, people will listen when I talk. Once again, equal and opposite force. So the harder my enemies try to damage me, the more powerful they make my voice in the first place.